Hey there, welcome back to another week of Awana. Today's verse is John 11:25. It says, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. All right, so Jesus here is talking to Martha. So Mary and Martha, if you remember, that they were sisters and they were followers of Jesus. The word here, resurrection, it means coming back to life after death. Just like Jesus was resurrected, he came back to life after he died on the cross. So he had been dead for 3 days before he was resurrected. Now, a little side note there. Some people say that Jesus didn't really die, that maybe he just fainted. But the Bible says that there was a Roman soldier there, and Roman soldiers were trained to kill, and they had a long spear, and they actually stabbed Jesus with it to make sure that he was dead. So we know that he had died, and also that he was buried in a tomb. It might be different than here. Like here, people are buried in the ground, so it's not like zombies that are coming up out of the ground when they're resurrected. Back then, they used to use like little caves. Some were natural, maybe some were carved out by people, but they used to use caves to bury people after they died, and then they would cover the opening of the grave, like often with stone or with something, so that animals or people couldn't get at it. So this verse is actually taking place in the Bible just before Jesus brings his friend Lazarus back to life after he had died. So Jesus was the brother of Mary and Martha. So Lazarus had gotten sick and he had been dead for 4 days before Jesus arrived there. And Jesus went to the tomb and he told the people around there to remove the stone. And they said, ooh, you don't want to do that. He's been dead for 4 days and he's going to smell. I mean, his body would have already started to decay. And Jesus said, nope. Go ahead, take the stone away. And then he yelled real loud, Lazarus, come out. And I picture this being like a scene like you've seen in a movie, like a mummy walking out, because it says he was wrapped in these grave clothes. They used to wrap them up in these white cloth, these linens, and it said it was wrapped around his hands and his feet and his head. And he walked out and Jesus told the people, take off his grave clothes and set him free. So this verse isn't saying that Jesus is going to bring us all back to life after we die, like he did for Lazarus, but it's saying that even though we're all going to die one day, that these bodies they're going to die, that if we believe in Jesus, our soul will go to heaven, and we'll get new bodies, and we'll live there forever with Jesus. So I'm going to explain the verses again here. So we know Jesus said to her, I'm just pointing to Martha, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection, like coming back to life, resurrection and the life, L for life. Whoever believes, remember that's something we can't see, but we just know it's there. He believes in me will live, come to life. He'll live even though he dies. Okay? All right, I want you to go ahead and stand up and we'll say it together. So John 11:25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. All right, let's try it looking at the sheet here. John 11:25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. All right, let's say it a couple more times. John 11:25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. All right, let's say it without looking at the words this time. John 11:25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. All right, good job. Now we're going to do our review verse. All right, this is the verse that you're actually going to be saying tonight now. John 10:14, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. All right, let's try it again. John 10:14, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. And now without looking at the words, John 10:14, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. Good job. Now we're going to do the review verse that you're going to say tonight. All right, the review verse is John 10:7. Therefore, Jesus said again, I tell you the truth. I am the gate for the sheep. All right, let's try it again. John 10:7. Therefore, Jesus said again, I tell you the truth. I am the gate for the sheep. And And one more time without looking at the words, John 10:7. Therefore, Jesus said again, I am the gate for the sheep. Good job. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you again next week.